It's 3 a.m. in Seoul. The air is thick, the room is silent, and then your phone erupts with a piercing emergency alert. You check the screen. A flash flood warning has been issued for this area. This is the moment the weather stops being a conversation starter and starts being a vocabulary test. Surviving a monsoon requires knowing exactly what your phone is trying to tell you. You need to decode the specific language of disaster to understand the scale of the threat. English has a specific, almost obsessive way of categorizing falling water. When the rain gets serious, a shower is no longer an accurate description. This brown expanse surrounding the Han River buildings is a deluge, a dramatic, historic flood. And if the sky dumps that much volume in a single violent burst, meteorologists now call it a rain bomb. On the street, you're dealing with torrential rain, the kind that sounds like a bathtub draining onto your roof. It turns a standard downpour into a commute where you're wading through intersections just to reach the bus. Standard weather terms fail when the water starts reclaiming the pavement. The vocabulary has to escalate to match the physical reality of the city. Look at these tracks. When water completely swallows city infrastructure like this, journalists call it an inundation. The station hasn't just leaked, it is submerged. A river overflows when it escapes its banks, while the flood itself crests when it reaches its absolute highest, most dangerous point. Eventually, you push through the glass doors of your office, shake out your umbrella, and leave the rising water behind for the safety of your desk. But the flood doesn't actually end at the lobby. It just shifts from a literal threat on the street to a metaphorical one in your inbox. The workday begins and you're immediately flooded with messages. The sheer volume of incoming requests mirrors the rain outside. By noon, you are swamped. You are sinking under a workload that feels physically heavy, making it impossible to take on anything else. Then comes the new project briefing. Trying to absorb that much information at once is like drinking from a fire hose, violent, overwhelming, and messy. If you miss a deadline, you're in deep water. For the rest of the afternoon, you are just struggling to keep your head above water to avoid professional disaster. We use these specific water metaphors because the psychological sensation of a busy Monday is identical to the physical struggle of a flood, that desperate, breathless effort to keep from sinking. This linguistic connection between water and panic scales up from your individual desk to the entire economy. When a project stops moving entirely, it is dead in the water. If the financial losses are too great, the whole company might go under. At that point, the only hope is for a bailout, a rescue mission to scoop the water out of the boat before the business disappears completely. In the world of English business, failure is rarely described as a dry calculation. It's almost always described as a drowning. By the time you head home, the literal storm has subsided. The water retreats, leaving the ground waterlogged and unable to take in any more. You walk past the debris and the puddles left on the sidewalk. In the office, we treat the morning's chaos as water under the bridge, a way to acknowledge the mess while agreeing to move past it. You'll face the same cycle tomorrow, come hell or high water. It's the ultimate mantra for surviving both the monsoon and the cubicle. You can't stop the Han River from rising, and you certainly can't stop the emails. But now, at least you'll have the right words to describe the view while you're going under. Stay dry.